Hi, everyone. Come on in. How's it going? We're doing something totally different today. Hi, Queenie. Hi, Kat. Hi, Susie. Hi, Sharon. How's it going, ladies? Come on in. I'll wait for the chat to fill up. We're going to cover something today that I've actually never even looked at before. And from everything I've seen, it looks like it's a pretty intense case. So we're going to have a look at it. Thank you, Anita. Hi, Sunshine. Hello, Blue. Hi, Tammy. Hi, Let Them. Come on in, everybody. Please hit the thumbs up button for me as you're coming in the door. And I have set a goal for tonight. Please help me reach my super chat goal for tonight. I've set it for an hour. When we reach our goal, I'm actually going to do some dowsing rod questions on this case. I know nothing about this case. I can't even pronounce the guy's name. So we're starting totally fresh, and I want to see what this is all about. Is the Gilgo Beach killer. The Gilgo Beach killer. It looks like it's pretty intense. Hello, Melissa Green. Hi, Sunshine Girl. Come on in, ladies. Come on in. I know it was no notice, so I have to just wait a little bit for the chat to fill up. I hope you're all doing well. Hope you had a beautiful day. I had a beautiful day. You saw me. I was out doing gardening. It was so lovely. Heuermann. Thank you, Cat H. Heuermann. For some name, Rex Heuermann. His name is really familiar, and I don't know why. I guess maybe I've seen his face on YouTube before. But wasn't he connected with something else? Rex Heuermann. It just looks really familiar. Like, was he connected to some other case as well? I'll figure that out later. I will figure that out later. Oops. So I got some things we're gonna watch. 2 or 3 documentaries on the case, and get us kind of like quickly caught up to the current news of what's happening. He's a monster, is he? Yuck. Rex Heuermann. Rex Heuermann is to plead guilty. So we'll see. I was going to cover all the stuff in Iran, but I don't know, it's pretty stressful right now. Like, I know that Trump just did a ceasefire deal, and he said, okay, we'll give you 2 weeks. But Iran is now firing missiles at Israel, like a taunting. So I have a feeling like all hell's going to break loose any minute. So it's kind of scary. I don't really want to watch it right now because it honestly is a little bit scary. So, hi Donna, hello honey. Hello. I think his daughter was somehow involved. Interesting. Okay. So I'll see how it goes. I've not seen any of it, so I can't do a reading on the case yet. Um from literally looking at the guy. Yeah. Looking at the guy, I get like really bad creepo vibes, like really bad. Oh, you got your brush. Yay! Donna, ladies, look at what Donna sent me. Donna sent me this amazing face. I should just sit here and do it while we're talking. Face brush. Oh, it's so delightful. Hopefully, it will help me with my bags under my eyes. You get pig farm vibes. Interesting. Okay, we'll have to see how it goes. Hi, Linda. Hi, hon. Isn't this beautiful? So it's a beautiful face brush, and it's for your lymph nodes, and it's got those super, super soft bristles. I'm gonna catch myself, I'm gonna just be doing this the whole time. Hi, Gypsy Rose. Yeah. Yeah. Right. So we'll have to see what happens. And they're not doing a ceasefire. Like they just launched missiles at Israel. So I think shit's about to hit the fan, honestly. So there you go. All right, so we're getting more people in. We had 31 in here. Now it's down to 26. Come on, everybody, let's go. Let's get going. Okay, so this is fair use commentary. Video credit is in the description. Let's get going. So the first one I'm watching is Rex. So this is quite long. This is like an hour, I think. Excuse me. This is an hour or so. So I think I might do it on double speed, or at least speed and a half. And let's watch this. So hopefully this explains most of the case, because like I know nothing. And we'll comment and do commentary as I go down the road. Let me just get all my windows. Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to get my windows figured out here. All right, everybody ready? You got your headphones in? Hi, for real. You ready to go, ladies? So, Rex Heuermann, Long Island Case documentary. Video credit goes to the CW network. Please go subscribe and give them some love. So much stuff. I remember I got the internet. I was one of like the first people. I got the internet in 1995, and my ex was a computer programmer, and so he knew how to get everything running and going, and we used dial up. It was 2400 baud dial up to get on, and yeah, it changed my life. The internet absolutely changed my life, that's for sure. I met my ex-husband on the internet. It just opened up a whole new world, and I met all of you, you know? But what I'm getting at though is predators. The predators on the internet were all over the place, like immediately. Immediately. I encountered male predators immediately. I was on a video chat program called See You See Me, and hi, if those of you remember me, it's me, Morticia. I was on See You See Me for years. And well, I developed that term wankers. Like every camera I opened on the chat was a wanker, a disgusting pig wanker. So you can see how the sex industry exploded all over the internet. Like it became easy for people, and it still is exploding all over the internet. Reminder. Okay, I'm getting a reading already. Already. Has this lady been found? Those of you that know the case, has this lady Rain been found? Is she still missing? Hi, Mocha. Sharon says yes, she's been found. Queen doesn't know. Anyone else? You don't know. Don't know. Okay, because I'm already getting a reading. Like I'm actually seeing it. There were 7 of them. Okay, so I don't know if this lady's been found or not. Okay, I'm immediately already getting a reading for this lady. Oh, it's terrible. Um, I see her in like a 50-gallon steel drum. She's been put, according to what I'm reading, it's just my readings. I'm seeing a drum, like an older drum, a big, huge, like I think they're 50-gallon drums that would hold whatever, oil or gas or whatever. I'm seeing a drum and I'm seeing a dock. Um, I'm seeing an industrial building, an industrial dock area. There's drums all over the place. It actually might be like a port where they load boats. And if they haven't found her, I'm getting that sh- she's still just sitting there. Like the tank is just sitting there. And people walk past it every day, don't bother with it, like it's like a tank that the employees have been told not to touch, or it's, you just don't touch that tank. So yeah. So she has been found. Okay, Marilyn, this is Rain she's talking about. Rain, this is Rain. Maureen Brainard Barnes. Okay, I don't think that's the one she's talking about right now. Okay, let's keep going. So I'm getting something like immediately. Wow, okay, so this case is from 93 to 2011 and it's in court now. Wow, so this is a big deal, eh? That court's happening and judges, and he's apparently close to pleading guilty. We thought it was most. Yeah. Wow, isn't that wild? Wild, honey. Okay, so everybody please take 2 seconds and hit the thumbs up button for me. He killed a mother and daughter. Oh, it's so sad. So sad. Seized hundreds of electronic devices. Really? That's wild. Wow. Crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Okay, so yeah, so hit the thumbs up button for me, please. Those of you in the background not chatting, and if you're new, uh, please subscribe. Please join my little world here. Um, we do everything on this channel. I cover psychic stuff. I cover missing people. I cover true crime. I cover spiritual world. I cover psychic readings, like everything on this channel. Um, yeah. So, okay, let's keep going.
The line is a man saying that not only has he sexually assaulted your
He
sister,
got
he
caught in
also reveals that he
2024.
killed her.
Okay. That's so scary, honest to God. And that he met some of these women on the internet too. Like, go back to what I was saying in the beginning here, where like I was on the internet in 1995. Okay. I was on a video chat program. It cost $500. And my ex was like, yeah, let's do it. We were like the first ones with cameras on the internet. It was wild. I met Shania Twain on it. I met Dave Matthews on it. It was fantastic. Um, but the predators, I called them wankers. Like it was a video chat program, and you would have like say 12 little windows pop up, and everybody had their own chat window, and you'd all chat. You could talk via audio as well, and I would open up those chat windows, and 75 of them 75% of them were men wanking. Like, they're just freaking pigs. And it's scary. It's scary. I had a man become, like, obsessed with me. I was only 23 years old. I was young, and I was really hot, and I knew I was looking good, and, um, I had this one guy that was just on me constantly until one day, it was the wildest shit. He was always wanking, and I'd be like, "Dude, just stop. I'm not interested. I don't wanna see your wills. I don't wanna see it." Well, this one day, I did that, and all of a sudden, he pulls out a pistol on camera and points the pistol right at the camera, so it's, like, pointing right at my face, like a threat, and he was like, "You're gonna show me some titty, or I'm going to shoot or blow his brains out." So once in a while, he would point it at his head. So he wanted me to flash him, and if I didn't, he was gonna kill himself. So back then, luckily, we had the internet was easy to trace back then, and I had a lot of amazing programs. I wish I still had them. I had these programs where I could get anybody's IP address, and then I could actually get their home address. Like, it was my ex was a programmer. So, I've the I called this guy's ISP company, his internet company. I found his internet company in Washington State, and I called them, and I'm like, "Okay, you got a customer right now that's threatening to kill himself on camera and pointing a gun at me on camera, and we're watching this, and I'm on the phone, and all of a sudden, like, within, like, 10 minutes, there was 2 cops. There was 2 cops right beside him, arresting him right on camera. Like, I just sat there and watched the whole thing happen. So, I was pretty proud of myself. I'm like, "I got you, you wanker. I got you." So, yeah. But it's scary, like, for those that don't know how to protect themselves online, and, there's women out there, unfortunately, that are vulnerable and naive and believe what these predators say to them, you know, their sexual advances. These naive women believe it and want it, and yeah, it's sad. It's very sad. Hi, Melissa.
But you did it for her
That
daughter,
that is
and
so tough. That is so tough. If anyone out there is watching and you've had to do this in your life and to, feed your baby and everything, it's just my hat's off to you for your courage to do what you need to do to survive. It's just wild. Just please stay safe. Like, if you're still actively doing it, please stay safe. You know? Yeah. This guy was living a regular life with his wife and kids doing these horrific crimes. Between July 23 and December 24, architect Rex Heuermann was indicted in relation to 7 murders of women. Wow. Thank you so much. And then these are the 7 women: Amber, Megan, Melissa, Maureen, Sandra. Sandra Costilla is ringing for me for some reason. Jessica Taylor and Valerie Mack. Sandra Castilla. I don't. I don't know what. I don't. I'm getting something for that. I don't know. Understand yet. I'm getting like a vibe for that name. Okay, that's very interesting. Thank you very much for that, Sassy.
when I think about it now, I understand it. I get it. My sister said, when I have a child, I'm going to give that child everything I couldn't have, no matter what I have to do to get it. She can't.
Murdered in a case like this. Anyone? Any of you have any friends or relatives that you've lost? This is like a part of the reason why I kind of get into these cases is I told you the Robert Pickton case, right? The pig farmer that Oh god, it was so bad, you guys. Well, anyways, he killed one of our friends, Savvy and I's friends. She was actually Savvy's ex-girlfriend in high school, and my, like, really good friend of mine. And Robert Pickton killed her. She was one of the 50 victims. So it makes me really want I just feel these cases because of her. I feel them, you know? Hi, MZ. Hi, Lena. This is actually very much like Robert Pickton, honestly. Very much like it. Robert Pickton went down uh, downtown east side of Vancouver. It's called the downtown east side. It's our bad part of Vancouver. It's not big. It's like a 5 block radius. It's the worst in North America. You go down there and the nowadays people are laying on the sidewalk like sardines, and half of them are overdosed. Like, you're walking past people, you have to actually walk on the street to get around them, and half of them are dead. And I'm not exaggerating. But back then, those streets were full of prostitutes. They would all stand there, and Robert Pickton would cruise those streets and pick up all of those prostitutes and take them back to his pig farm. And my girlfriend Tiffany was one of them. S I remember when we were in high school, grade 11, I would say, she started going down there, like, on her own at night. I'm like, "Why are you going down there? What are you doing? What are you going to Skidville for?" And she started going down there. She had a bad home life, and she started going down, like, on regularly. And she'd be like, "Come on, Tara, come with me." I'm like, "No freaking way. I won't be caught dead down there." So, she started early. Grade 11. She was going down there getting drunk and doing tricks, and I didn't really know why she always had money. Like, she always had money. She'd be like, "Come on, let's go. I'll get us a case of beer." And she always had the money. Oh, now I know why. It's very sad. She was such a beautiful girl. Grade 11. Grade 11. So yeah. Amy Lynn Bradley, please. It's one of the most insane cases I've ever heard. She went missing from a cruise ship. Okay. Thank you, Valhalla. Yeah. You're seeing this in your feed because you deal with true crime. Yep. I saw it today, and because he's supposedly pleading guilty in court tomorrow. Aha. Aha. Okay. Yeah. Because it was on my feed today, and I was like, what's this? So, yeah. So that's what an angle we're going to be doing as well on my channel now. Like, now that my channel's growing and we're moving and I got lots of subscribers and stuff, I want to keep the ball rolling. We're going to dive into true crime cases, okay? So, like, I'm not going to be doing all these missing person like only just missing person cases, cuz honestly that drains me. I'm pretty Each case absolutely kicks me in the ass, especially when I'm trying to find the people. It takes everything out of me. So I want to cover other things as well and do readings on cases. I can do all different types of readings on cases themselves. Like, I think some of you guys know, um, but the new people don't know. I am really proud to say that I actually solved a murder case 2 months ago. And those of you that have been with me a long time know that I would never say I solved a case. Like, I used to be adamant. I'd be like, I would never say I've solved the case, but I actually did. And I'm, like, freaking over the moon about it. It's on my channel. It's a live stream about it from a couple months ago. One of my subscribers, her daughter was murdered Her daughter was murdered in her house, and the house was set on fire when she was in bed. And my subscriber called me like that night, frantic, frantic. She's like, my daughter's dying, the house is burning down. Um, just like hysterical. And I immediately got the name of Chris. I told her the very minute. I said, I'm getting it's Chris and it's an ex-boyfriend. Well, Chris is now in prison for life. He got charged last month. So it's the first criminal case where I can actually say, I freaking solved this. Like, I'm so proud of myself. And it took me 5 minutes. That's the thing. Like, a lot of you know my readings are super quick. Like, I don't mess around. I get straight to the point. I'm like, okay, it was Chris, it was the ex-boyfriend. He was pissed off at her, and it was revenge, and that was that. There's no need to drag it out for an hour and, do cards and all that shit. I don't do that. I'm just straight, let's get it done. So I'm very, very proud of myself. So let's do this because there might be other cases out there where I might be able to go, it's them. And Summer Wells case? Summer Wells case? I am 99.5% positive I know who it is. Positive. But I'm keeping my mouth shut because, well, there's people on YouTube who have destroyed the case and have made it so that you can't talk about certain people that might be involved in the case. Get what I'm saying? I'm positive. So all we can do is just wait now. We just wait and wait and wait. Nobody will listen to me as usual and just have to wait and see.
That there was a serial killer at work, and it would only be a matter of months before he struck again.
Men issues. Wow. Okay, so you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take 2 seconds here and I'm going to see if I have memberships to give out. Give me a sec. I might have free memberships to hand out to people. So let's just take a little look. All right. Let's see. Membership gifting. I do. Okay, are you guys ready? You ready? You ready for free memberships? And after your membership expires, please consider joining and becoming joining. You ready? Okay. First 5. Here we go. Congratulations to all of you. Maisie, Gigi, Annette, Kinsey. Congratulations. Welcome to another round, members. Yay. Thank you so much for being here. Okay. We'll do another 5. Ready? You ready, everybody? Krista, thank you, honey. You ready? Next 5 coming. There you go. Glowy, Christy, Tell the Truth, Regina, Pure Love. There you go. Congratulations. Yay. Thank you for being a part of my channel, everybody. It means the world to me. It means the world. Okay, let's get back to what we were doing here. Okay, we're ready. Look into the Gannon Stout. I know, I know. I covered the Gannon Stout. I did readings on his case and everything while it was happening. I know. We might actually do a deep dive in on that. You want to do that? We'll do a deep dive. We'll finish this up and then we'll head over to that case. Cuz that case that one went yeah, it was tough on me. But he needs justice. He needs justice. I can't believe that it's been overturned. It reminds me of Suzanne Morphew, like Barry Morphew overturned and like why? So yeah, we'll get into all of that. Case, the Keyron's case. I wouldn't mind diving back into the Keyron case. I didn't really do it too much. I did like one preliminary reading on the case. The problem with his case, there's a lot of trolls. I don't know if I want to go there. Like if I start talking about his case, I'm gonna have hundreds of trolls in my channel. For some reason, there is a huge thing of trolls, and I don't know why. I got flagged. Oh, fuckers. Ah. Can you guys still hear me? How do I do this? Am I here? Am I back? Shit. I am here? Okay. Wow, that was weird, eh? So what did it say to you guys? Did it say copyright or something? It didn't show anything on my screen. I had it sped up. It could be that channel. We're gonna just drop that channel. I'll do NewsNation next. I got lots of stuff from NewsNation on, and they're really good. They don't do that. Boy, that's quick, eh? They're quick. They nailed me so fast. Oh, it says screen not available. Really? Huh. Okay. All right. Well, we'll continue going on. We will do NewsNation stuff instead. NewsNation is amazing. They don't strike you like that channel. I'll go back and edit it out later. Okay, so what are we gonna watch for NewsNation first? Okay, so let's do this. All right. Okay, you guys see that? Suspended for privacy violations. Wow. Yeah, I guess it depends on the channel. You know, some channels they'll just nail you super fast, other channels won't. Hi Ellie, hi hon. Okay, am I okay? Am I here? Do you see me? Do you see the screen? Everything okay now? There should be a bunch of people you can check. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. So let's just jump on to News Nation. Okay. News Nation here. This is from, where did I pick this one? Okay. This is from March 27th, 2026. Accused Gilgo beach killer Rex Heuermann expected to plead guilty. Okay. So let's see what they have to say. Video. This is fair use commentary. Video credit goes to News Nation.
Outside of Rex Heuermann's home in Massapequa Park. This is a very quiet neighborhood. And of course, this case took everyone by surprise. We're going to go ahead and pan in and show you the house here behind me. His family still lives in that red home there. And of course, this is just an absolute shock at this point. It's a case that
Huh.
has haunted Long Island for decades. Prosecutors say that the
That
planning of the
home gives
murders
me
and
the
perhaps the
creeps.
murders themselves possibly took place right there in that red house that you see. Sources close.
Look at that house. Wow. So, like, I can read that house immediately. That immediately. I'm getting really, really bad vibes from that house. There is dark, dark death energy in that house. That is crazy. I can imagine this guy's childhood was terrible for him to, you know, develop into a serial killer, right? Like, oh, they were hoarders. Oh dear. Okay.
Close to the case tell me Rex Heuermann is expected to be pleading guilty to all the counts in the indictment against him to 7 murders, something that Rex Heuermann has pled not guilty to after his arrest in 2023. Heuermann has been charged with the murders of.
Wow. Go back to the house for a sec. Look at that on the wall there. You see that? It looks like a drawing or something of a child. I see it like a child right there on the wall. It's probably just dirt, but yeah. Ah, evil, evil, evil.
To after his arrest in 2023. Heuermann has been charged with the murders of Sandra Castilla, Valerie Mack, Jessica Taylor, and the victims known as the Gilgo Four: Maureen Brainerd Barnes, Melissa Bartholomew, Megan Waterman, and Amber Lynn Costello. And when you think about all these women, all those names, think about all the family members that have been waiting for justice all these years. Most of the victims were found along a remote stretch of highway near Gilgo Beach on the side of thick brush along Ocean Parkway in Suffolk County. It's an area the prosecutors say Heuermann was very familiar with, not only because he lives a couple miles away, but also because he worked nearby Jones Beach State Park when he was younger. Prosecutors say that Heuermann used burner phones, left behind critical DNA evidence.
Okay, so why is this guy familiar? I must have seen his case. It must have been on my YouTube screen long ago at one point, and I just didn't really pay attention to it. You know, bodies on the beach. Wow. Yeah, the name rings a bell immediately for me. Well, I'm praying that there is positive outcome for the families. They get closure on this, and that he really does confess, and justice is served. Sorry, I just heard something in my house. Wild. I just heard a woman talking, like right here. Huh. I don't recognize the voice or anything. Just all of a sudden, Savvy's not home and the TV's off. June's sleeping. Wow, wild. Okay, maybe it's one of the victims. Maybe I should do readings with the victims. Like I could do readings and everything with the victims. I could do mediumship readings with them. See if they have anything to say. I'm sure they have a lot to say.
Including hairs found on victims, even after taking meticulous steps, they say, to cover up his alleged crimes. The Gilgo Beach Task Force also uncovered disturbing internet searches by the 62-year-old architect and a document they've called a blueprint for the killings, outlining how he planned and carried out the murders and how to avoid being caught. That is according to court documents. Now, these murders, as you mentioned, Nick, span decades from the early 90s through 2010. Investigators say the crimes happened while Heuermann's family was out of town. They are not implicated
Wow.
in these crimes.
He actually planned them on paper? Actually, like, had a blueprint plan? Wow. That's crazy.
Crimes that seemed to be what happened. The family would go out of town, and then Rex Heuermann would allegedly go on his killing spree. Nick?
Laura, so many questions. They're living in that house. I can imagine what that must be like for the rest of the neighborhood. But I know that the mother
Wow.
of at least one of the victims had been fighting for justice for her daughter. She has since passed. But Laura, even with all
The mother died and she didn't the mother died before they could get justice. Well, the mother's with her now. The mother's with her daughter. That's the best you can get. So, that's wild. Burner phone. Those damn burner phones, I tell you. There's a place in the summer. There's a place in the Summer Wells case where we found like I don't know what it was, maybe 6, 7, 8 burner phones. Those burner phones are used by everybody that's doing crime. I have never actually even seen a burner phone. I don't even know what they look like. But I've heard that the newer burner phones are more like high tech and stuff, right? And so they can trace them nowadays. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you very much. Yeah. Thank you very much, Donna. Thank you, honey. Yeah, track phones. I've never had one.
of this, if he were to plead, this is not a done deal until he gets into court on April 8th, right?
Tomorrow.
Right. So April 8th is the next scheduled court appearance. That is when we are hearing this is all set to go down. But remember,
Tomorrow, people. I wonder if it'll be on court TV. Maybe I'll look for it. If I can find it, maybe we can watch it live on court TV. Wouldn't that be great? A burner phone is just a cheap 1020 phone that has nothing to do with the person, no links. They make calls, text. Like the old school cell phones, basically. Right? The basic old school cell phones. They found Lori Vallow kids via burner phone on Chad's property. Burner phones aren't untraceable. Well, there you go. So that's how the kids were found. They weren't found because of a psychic. Sorry to say. There is a psychic out there claiming that she's the one that found the Vallow kids. No, she did not. Okay.
remember the wording that we're talking about here. This isn't a plea deal. It's that Rex Heuermann is planning to plead guilty. So there's no actual deal on the table because we haven't heard the prosecutor in this case. Defense attorneys haven't told us anything. We just know from our sources and from other reporting. Family members are being
Whoa, he
victims
looks
have
so
been
evil.
contacted.
Look at it. He looks so evil there. Oh, God. I wouldn't want to see that looking over me in the middle of the night. No, thank you. What an evil monster.
Contacted, according to our sources, saying get ready, it's coming. So we have to wait until, between now and April 8th, anything could happen. But, Rex Heuermann could change his mind. The judge couldn't sign off on it. There's a couple of different things that could happen. But if all things go as planned for right now, we are looking at a plea agreement, or at least him pleading guilty. And then, of course, we'll have the victim impact statements. But
Ugh.
Nick, remember what happened with
I
Brian
wonder.
Koberger?
I wonder why he's I wonder why he's pleading now. I guess we'll find out, right? I wonder why. They call him an ogre. Yeah. I wonder why he's pleading guilty. Maybe he's had a talk with God. Who knows?
A lot of people wanted to hear details once they got into the courtroom of the motive, of the why. Why did this happen? And Brian Koberger didn't give any information. He just simply said that he did it. So that could be what happens here. We'll have to wait and see.
And Laura, you and I have talked about that by Koberger not saying why he
Sick.
did it.
Yeah.
It just left an open wound for so many of those families. And that situation could be repeated here with Heuermann. Laura Engel live for us this afternoon. Laura, thank you so much.
Thank you for watching.
Wow. Thank you for watching. Thank you, News Nation. Video credit goes to News Nation. Please go subscribe and give them a like. Okay, and then the next one is from News Nation as well. Yeah. So give me 2 seconds. I have to go blow my nose. He got caught and the evidence is all there. So why fight it? Ah, there you go. There you go. Okay. All right. Give me 2 seconds. Okay. I'll be right back. Allergies are kicking my butt. Kicking my butt. Ah, yeah. Okay. Ready? All of you ready? Are you back? Did you all go potty? Are you back? Okay, so the next one is Gilgo Beach's suspect plea charge, not a shock. Okay, video credit again goes to our lovely News Nation. We love News Nation on this channel. All right, let's go.
It's a case that haunted Long Island for nearly 2 decades, and it could all come to an end next week. Suspected Gilgo Beach killer Rex Heuermann is expected to do an about-face, according to our sources, and plead guilty during a court appearance next Wednesday. Heuermann is accused of murdering 7 women between 1993 and 2010 and discarding their remains along Ocean Parkway on Long Island. The 62-year-old architect was arrested back in July of 2023, and
Okay, so they've
momentum
all
is
been
building
found.
for what this plea could mean. We're going to get into it now. Investigation Nation, and here now is retired NYPD.
Oh, I'm yawning. Okay, sorry guys, I'm yawning. Okay, so by the sounds of it, it looks like all the women were found. So that's good news. He was caught by a discarded pizza box on the man, huh? DNA. There you go. DNA is God's gift, that's for sure. Okay, perfect.
PD Detective David Sarney and Michael Gould, founding member of the NYPD K-9 unit. Thank you both for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
All right, so this is a huge moment. I've been covering this case for over 10 years, and you both have been watching this investigation through the years for many more. When this news broke that he was changing his plea, according to reports in our sources, it was really a shock to a lot of people, but maybe, not entirely surprising with all that the Suffolk County DA has against him, with the DNA evidence,
Wow.
some hairs found on some of the victims, cell phone records, and more. I want to get your reactions to this plea. David, I'm going to start with you when you first heard about this.
DNA and hairs, right? The hair, we talk about the hairs. That's what I'm so frustrated in Summer Wells' case, you guys. I'm telling you. Summer's case, I firmly feel they have failed her. They have failed her. I can't wait until there is a new sheriff in that town and takes over the case and starts to get things done, because this is, honestly, it's ridiculous. It really is ridiculous. Like, his Summers case, all it takes is one freaking hair. One hair. And I know where you can find that hair. People won't listen to me. One freaking hair. And I know where they can find the hair. It's really frustrating.
Well, the circumstantial evidence is absolutely damning, and that's the thing that's been one of the things that got to this level. And realize, and I always say this: the work that the detectives back in the '90s made it possible for this to happen, to get to the level of getting an arrest and possibly this plea, this change of plea. So that's the thing that I'm very happy about, because of what the work was put into it, and what detectives did before matters now, because the technology wasn't there back then. The technology became available, and that's why you have what you have right now. So it could be the end of a chapter in Long Island for this type, this serial killer case. It lasted 20 plus years, 30 plus years you're talking about, and this is what we're hoping for. If we get
It'll be really interesting to watch the full court case. I sure hope they put it on like court TV. I really hope that we can watch that. I would watch every single one of them. Yeah. No, I didn't tell you where the hair is. No, I didn't tell anyone where the hair is. I know where the hair is. Where there's hairs. I'm positive. Positive, positive, positive. I know where there's clothing. But yeah, I have to keep my mouth shut, because there's some assholes on YouTube that were covering the Summer Wells case, and well, uh, they've destroyed it. They've destroyed any progress that there could have been in Summer's case, and still are destroying it, and they know it. So because of them, I have to keep my mouth shut. Trust me, I would be all over it, covering it every frickin' day. But there's a particular YouTuber out there who I feel has destroyed any progress in the Summer Wells case. And because of her and her irrational behavior, I keep my mouth shut.
the plea, and this is the benefit of a plea, it allows something. If there's a plea arrangement would happen with the prosecutor and the defense attorney. You're getting something, because a trial, and we see trials all the time, no trial is a slam dunk anymore.
Right. And also, Michael, I wanted to ask you what your thoughts were when you heard this was happening, because I've been talking to you and texting with you through the years about this case. Was it a shock to you?
Yeah, I know about the 2 letters to TMZ. Yeah. Yeah. Crazy, huh?
No, no,
Oh, these
Laura,
poor
not at all.
girls.
As David pointed out, the evidence, the forensic evidence in this case was overwhelming. His attorney did the best he can to suppress things, but I think the reality is coming to a light regarding Rex. So it didn't surprise me. It's
Wow.
probably the only move that he could have made, I think.
Look at his pattern on the map there, where they were found. Look at the pattern. Isn't that interesting? That's the other thing why I love true crime is I love psychology. Like and that's also why I love being a medium. I'm fascinated. It absolutely fascinates me. I'm a person reader. I read people, and especially with my abilities, I read them more than most people do, and it's fascinating for me. Like I can sit in the mall at like the food court in the mall. And I've always done it ever since I was a kid. And I've been able to look at people as they go by. And I know, I'm like, okay, he's an asshole. They're having a problem. They're breaking up. Like I just know as people go by. They're abusing their child. Like I just know. Yeah, it's fascinating.
I mean, going to trial. I'm assuming there'll be some kind of sentencing agreement in this case. But no, this doesn't surprise me at all. I don't think, I'm very familiar with this area of Long Island. I patrolled it for many years with a police canine. And to me, it's like finding a needle in a haystack out there. So unfortunately, I think as years go by, if other bodies are out there, we just don't know where they are. This Ocean Parkway was built in 1934, and its proximity to the city makes it the perfect dumping ground for criminal activity. So, yeah, I'm happy that he's copping this plea, which I think will go through. And as you know, as you can see, a cadaver dog, a Suffolk County Police cadaver dog, is actually what cracked this case, because there's no other technology that could discover invisible human body.
Cadaver dogs are amazing. They're amazing, but they're not perfect. They're not perfect. That one case I helped in town here, Ryan, the cadaver dog fucking walked past him I don't know how many times. Literally, multiple times. The RCMP were going up and down the path, and then they told the family, "Oh, we've cleared it. There's nothing there." Well, I find the guy. He was 500 feet off the trail. Police dog missed it. So they do make mistakes.
Buried bodies,
Right.
other than a dog.
Right. And as we were looking at that map, there are other victims that were out there. There's another person that has been arrested and taken into custody for a victim known as Peaches and her baby. And many people thought that Rex Heuermann was possibly
This feels
connected
so good,
to
Donna.
those two, the bookends of the victims that we're looking at on the map, but he's not. It's somebody entirely different. It's the father of that baby.
Donna just bought me this. It's a face brush. Super, super, super soft. It's like, oh, it feels so good. And it's good for doing your lymph nodes on your face. So, hey, maybe I'll look like I've had a facelift next week. One of the victims was found by a cadaver dog and his handler. Excellent. That's excellent. Can I hear what they're thinking about? Yes. Yeah. Yeah, it's sad actually. It's sick. Even this morning, I'm sitting in Starbucks and there was a older man sitting in front of me, and he was just a fucking creeper. Like, he was just a fucking perv. He was watching all the girls as they came in and out of the door, and I'm reading his mind. I'm like, you fucking sick fuck. Like, sorry. I need the swear jar, please. Like, just a absolute sicko. So yeah, I do. I get it. Sometimes when I don't want to.
Andrew Dykes, who is accused in their murders. So that's a completely separate thing. But to your point, Michael, about other victims being found, it's incredible to think that somebody else used this area as a disposal site. I want to get back to the plea and the legality of what we're going to see here this week, because it's important to note, David, I'll send this to you. It's from what we have heard, not a plea deal, it's a change of plea, which means really anything could happen between now and Wednesday. I've heard that, we got to wait until we get there. And I got to tell you guys, there are so many people that are coming to this court date. They're talking about opening up 2-3 courtrooms for overflow and a live feed because so many people are coming to this. We're talking about 7 victims. We understand that victims' family members have been contacted to be there to witness this moment. I've been in court.
Oh, I'm so happy for the family members. I'm so happy for the family members. They're finally gonna get justice. I'm so happy for them. Hi, Wendy. How are you?
Only time that he ever spoke was once where he bellowed, that he was not guilty of these charges. David, do you think that even though we're hearing that he's going to change his plea to guilty, could he change his mind and just completely scrap the whole thing?
Absolutely. This is
No problem. No problem. I'm glad you're here.
why when we don't want to speculate as to if he's going to say yes, plead to this or not, plead guilty or not. The expectation is there. I don't think the Suffolk County District Attorney's Office has spoken out and saying this is what a guarantee.
Right.
They were apparently the family was the
Wow,
one
that's
to
good.
somehow release this information, and then it came out about this possible plea. Anything can happen between now and April 8th. That's the one thing we have to remember. He could
So
change his mind
tomorrow.
at any given time. The judge may rescind that plea, may just still want to go to trial anyway. There could be something along the lines of the Suffolk County District Attorney's Office not accepting it. So that's why. Is there an agreement in place? We don't know. Is the plea an absolute going to happen on April 8th? That is up to the defense and defendant at this point.
Right. And we've heard that this is going to be an allocution that he's going to get. It's like a Q&A. David, can you speak to that really quickly of what that looks like?
An allocution. Oh, I forgot to tell you, I have an appointment. I finally got an appointment booked next Friday on the 17th. I'm getting my hair done. My hair is just off the charts. I haven't had my hair done since our wedding in September. So I finally called my hairdresser. I was like, okay, it's time. I cave. I need to get my hair done. So I'm gonna get a full foils done and my grays gone and really good cut. I'm finding it's actually too long for me right now. It's actually uncomfortable. So I'll be a whole new person. There are lawsuits against Rex, his wife and daughter. Wow. Well, I can understand that, I guess, Did they know? Did the family know what he was doing? They had to have known something was wrong.
Yeah, an allocution is he's going to have to explain his actions, and as opposed to
Right?
the Kornberger case where there was no allocution, he's going to have to actually, if he does take this, if he's pleading to guilty, that he has to tell about each incident he was involved in. He's been accused and arrested for 7 different murders. He's going to have to allocute and explain why he did each of those murders.
Wow, what an incredible
Mm.
moment this is going to be in court. I will be there for this,
Wow.
by the way, reporting for NewsNation. Michael, lastly to you, you and I have talked about the possibility of more victims, Gilgo Beach and other places.
More
you,
victims.
of course, working so closely with K9 units. What happens if there are more remains found here or out of state after Heuermann pleads guilty? Is that something that's still being looked at?
Well, I don't know if it's actively being looked at, but these things come by circumstances, right? This was only a very small portion of this barrier beach where these bodies were recovered. As you know, Laura, this goes 10 miles right up to Kennedy Airport, one of the most populated, well-lit areas of New York. So this is, again, Rex Heuermann lived 20 minutes from Gilgo Beach. He lived there. So it's
Wow, that's wild, eh? That's wild. Like some cases like Robert Pickton, right? Robert Pickton got charged for I think it was 49 women. 49 cases. But they say that there's probably another 50 out there that they still have not identified or found. Through the it was crazy. They went through his entire property with um a conveyor belt with sieves, and they were sifting through every inch of the property. Every single inch. And we would drive by and watch them. Like, it was right there, down the street from where we lived. We would drive right by and you could see the conveyor belts are still there. They're still on the land. Yeah. Yeah, Robert Pickton. Yeah. They're still there. A friend of ours bought a house, a brand new house that was built on his land. Some of the land was subdivided up, and now they've built like townhouses and condos and shit on some of his property. I swear to God, I was standing outside their front door having a smoke, and I could hear screaming. And it was maybe his field was maybe half a block away. I could hear screaming. Yeah, it's wild. Wild, wild, wild. We need to cover the Pickton case. I really should actually dive into the Pickton case before we do anything else, really. I the Pickton case is near and dear to my heart. Big time. You know, he killed my friend. And Savvy and I grew up there. Those of you that know the story, he had a barn and he turned his barn into a party place and he named it Piggy's Palace. I fucking been there. I went there. I was probably 15 years old. I was in that fucking place. And there was dead girls on the other side of the barn. Wild. Yeah, Savvy was there too. And he used to sell meat, pork products to everybody in the city. I probably ate some. Crazy. Yeah, so all right, well that's that for Rex Boy. We're going to dive into that too. We'll keep watching that. So there's court case tomorrow. So we'll have to keep an eye. Yeah, he did. Yep. Yeah, shoes and purses. And the sickest part of it all is at one point I was probably about 21 years old or so. I went and looked at a house that was for rent 2 doors down from his property. And I loved it. It was out in the country, out in the woods, like way out of town. I wonder if I could even find it on Google Earth. I bet I could. Anyways, my ex and I, my first ex, we went looked at it, and as we're looking at it, the landlord is whispering to me, he goes, "You don't want to live here." Flat out. He goes, "This is dangerous here. You can't be here." And flat out told us to go. Then as you're walking down the street, this was before Pickton was arrested. As you were walking down the street right in front of his place, in the ditch, and it probably is still there. If I ever go, I'm gonna go and look. There's women's purses in the mud in the ditch in front of his property. You know what? I'm gonna pull it up. Give me a second. Let me find it. There's so much shit. Okay. Let me see if I can find old footage. 8 months ago, 7 months ago, 3 months ago. This thing doesn't let you go any older than that. 10 months ago. So many things on Pickton. Let me just Google it and see if I can find something that way. Robert. Original videos. The Robert Pickton tapes. Oh my God. That's from 2010. 2010 would probably do. Let's see what they've got on this. Oh, well, there's only one video. What's the point of that? One sec. It might take me a little while to do some research to find this stuff. I remember being able to watch the old original videos of them searching because we watched it on the news every night. It was on our news. It was the scariest shit. The scariest stuff. Okay, let's see. All right, so this is fair use commentary for CBC. They'll probably nail me for this, but let's give it a try.
It's normal to wonder about things. Is it the right time to start a business? To buy a house? Start a family? Honestly, no. Because it's never the right time. That's why we should do what we want.
Wow, I helped roof Ed Jean's house.
I was just asking if it's the right time to
Crazy.
start my lawn mowing business.
It's the right time.
Late this afternoon, police released tapes of serial killer.
So this is one of the original news, articles.
Robert William Pickton talking to an undercover police officer in his cell. Our Susanna Da Silva has been reviewing the tape. Susanna, what can you tell us?
Well, Tony, when Pickton first entered his jail cell, he told the undercover officer he didn't know anything about what was going on. But once he returned from an interrogation with police, he began to reveal details about the murders. Robert William Pickton had just been interrogated for 11 hours. He returns to his cell and an undercover police officer. As the pair eats dinner, Pickton boasts about playing mind games with the police and admits he got sloppy.
This is where he admits that he killed 49. And he was bragging that he almost hit the big 5-0, like a celebratory. Ugh. Yep. I was getting too sloppy, he says.
He then gets down to numbers, even gesturing a target kill number.
So he's talking about how he was getting sloppy with dealing with the remains. He wasn't doing it good enough.
In court, Pickton never reacted to seeing himself on screen, talking about the brutal murders. The tape of his interrogation by police is expected to be released in the coming days. Susanna.
So, Susanna, there are more tapes to come. What can we expect from those?
Well, on Monday, the 11-hour interrogation will be released. And on this tape at the beginning, Pickton isn't particularly engaged. But towards the end, when the lead investigator comes in, he begins to try to negotiate with police, even suggesting there are many more people involved. Tony?
Okay, so I wonder where I could find these. I gotta look. Robert Pickton. So many people have done stuff with him, about him on YouTube now. I want to find the original stuff. Oh, maybe this is it. Oh my God, this is it. Okay. So this is right. So this is a YouTube channel. Hopefully they don't nail me. Fair use commentary. Channel is Prosecutors Podcast. And let's see what oh wait, let's see what this one sec, let's see here.
Français. Hablas español. Parle italien.
We talk about these people who do these horrible things, and if you know the story, you know. I think in addition to this, it's a lot. But
Okay,
I'm gonna give
this
him
is
credit
just
here. We're Pickton, and we think
okay, forget it. Not what I'm looking for. Years and years and years ago, I found the original stuff. Um, and it scared me. It blew my mind what I was watching. But I haven't seen it since. So just bear with me a moment, guys, while I try to find something here. Okay, let me try searching by. How do I do that? Robert Pickton. Tools, time. Custom range. Let's see. From 2000 to, let's say, 2012. Oh, I found some stuff from 2007. Wow, not much. Oh, that's crazy. Okay, there's nothing. Pickton interrogation video released. This is from 2002. Okay, let's see. Come on. Work for me, baby. No. Okay, let's try this. No. You can't find stuff that's old on the internet anymore. They've got this stupid Wayback Machine thing. Transcript of it. Oh, here's the transcript. Okay, maybe I could get it to read this. One sec. Okay, let's see what this can do. Can I get it to read it? Oh, you can't. Wait, let's try. AI. Okay, will AI read it for me? You did I did a live about it 4 months ago, yeah. I'm trying to find something. I'm trying to find the old Pickton files. Original Pickton videos. Let's try 5 years ago. All right, let's do this one. Okay. Hopefully we don't get copyright on this one. Let's give it a try. Okay, so fair use commentary. Please subscribe to Serial Killers Documentaries. Let's see what they have to say here. Good night, Sassy. Thanks for being here, honey. Have a good sleep.
Hastings, nicknamed Pain and Wastings by the denizens who know it best. Low Track is the heart of British Columbia's rock-bottom drug scene, with estimates of its junkie population ranging from 5,000 to 10,000 at any given moment. The drugs of choice are heroin and crack cocaine, supplied by motorcycle gangs or Asian cartels that stake out choice blocks for themselves and defend their turf with brute force. Most of Low Track's female addicts support their habits via prostitution, trolling the streets night and day, haunted creatures rendered skeletal by what one Seattle Times reporter has dubbed the Jenny Crack diet. Safe sex is an illusion in this neighborhood, which boasts the highest HIV infection rate in North America. Low Track.
This must have been in the 2000s. You should see it now. All these people that are standing up are now laying down on the sidewalk like fucking seals. And half of them have overdosed every single day. It's the worst shit you can imagine. Absolutely terrible, terrible place. It's got the rumor of the worst place in North America. I should actually just show you. You know what? I'm going to just show you quick so you guys know what I'm talking about. Vancouver. I watch stuff from their downtown east side all the time. Yeah, here's just an idea of what oh, I got to switch the screen. This is a glimpse of downtown east side right now. Trigger warning if this bothers anyone. Yeah, literally zombies. Oh, okay, so that's just a quick short. And the problem with Canada here, they made the drugs legal. They're legal, people. So they're allowed to sit there and shoot up in the middle of the fucking bus stop. It's terrible. Absolutely terrible.
And do you live near?
So this is where all the girls were
The
from
streets
that Pickton picked up. They were all down here on the street.
I underestimated, and
That's where they all were. And he trolled them and found them and picked them up. and took them back to his farm, which was a long drive. Back to his place was probably, I don't know, 30-minute drive if there's no traffic. They must have been so scared.
Track's recent history is a tale of unrelenting failure. Vancouver lured affluent tourists by the hundreds of thousands to Expo 86, but the prospect of easy money brought a corresponding influx of the poor and hopeless, most of them gravitating to downtown East Side. Around the same time, competition among drug cartels flooded the district with cheap narcotics, encouraging a new generation of addicts to turn on, tune in, and drop out. Surrounding districts passed new laws to purge their streets of prostitutes, driving the women out of Burnaby and North Vancouver into downtown East Side. In 1994, federal cutbacks left welfare recipients short of cash, while mental hospitals disgorged patients onto the streets. By 1997, careless sex and shared needles had taken their toll in Low Track, 1/4 of the neighborhood's residents testing HIV positive. Government needle exchange programs have failed to stem the plague, despite the provision of some 2.8 million needles in Low Track each year. Low Track is infamous for its kiddie stroll, featuring prostitutes as young as 11. Some of those work the streets, while others are secured by their pimps in special trick pads. New prospects arrive in Low Track every day, runaways and adventure seekers dubbed Twinkies by those already trapped in the life. A 1995 survey of downtown East Side's working girls revealed that 73% of them entered the sex trade as children, and the same percent were
Crazy, isn't it? So we have a trafficking problem here. Like, just as bad as it is, say, in Tennessee. It's really bad. There was actually a warning issued here in Kelowna, I don't know when, like last summer, of that active trafficking was happening here right in my town.
unwed mothers, averaging 3 children each. Of those, 90% had lost children to the state. Fewer than half knew where their children were. More than 80% of the Low Track prostitutes were born and raised outside Vancouver. In 1998, they averaged 1 death per day from drug overdoses, the highest rate in Canadian history. But there were other dangers on the street as well. 3 years before Expo 86 opened its gates, prostitutes began to vanish
Nostradamus, yeah. I would love to go over that too one day.
from Low Track. By the time police noticed the trend, 14 years later, more than 24 had already disappeared without a trace. Streetwalkers are, by nature, an elusive breed. Many begin as adolescent runaways and never lose the habit of evasion, changing names and addresses so often that investigators have no realistic hope of tracking a specific prostitute for any length of time. When hookers vanish, as opposed to being slain and left in garbage dumpsters or motel rooms, in canals and vacant lots, no one can say with any certainty if they have disappeared by choice or through foul play. Too often, no one cares. No pattern was discernible in the early cases. Rebecca Guno, 23, was last seen alive on June 22, 1983, reported missing 3 days later. Most of downtown East Side's vanished women were not so promptly missed. The next official victim, 43-year-old Sherry Rail, would not be reported missing until 3 years after her January 1984 disappearance. 33-year-old Elaine Auerbach told friends she was moving to Seattle in March 1986, but she never arrived, reported missing in mid-April. Teresa Ann Williams, a 26-year-old Aboriginal, was last seen alive in July 1988, reported missing in March 1989. 14 months elapsed between the August 1989 disappearance of 40-year-old mental patient Ingrid Soet and the report to police on October 1, 1990. The first black victim, Kathleen Watley, was 39 years old when she vanished in June 1992, reported missing on the 29th of that month. The unknown predator took a 3-year vacation before claiming 47-year-old Catherine Gonzalez in March 1995, her disappearance reported to authorities on February 9, 1996. The year's second victim, in April, was 32-year-old Catherine Knight, missing 7 months before police received the report on November 11th.
So
Dorothy
sad,
Spence,
isn't
a
it?
36-year-old Aboriginal, vanished 4 months after Knight in August 1995, but her disappearance was reported earlier on October 30th. The year's last victim was 23-year-old Diana Melnick, lost in December, reported missing 4 days.
And like a good chunk of these, they still haven't like matched their DNA yet. Like they found fragments in his 20-acre property. They sifted the entire property. That's what I'm saying about Summerwell's case. The fucking TBI needs to get serious and get to work. Like, yep. You know what I find I'm going to just come out and say it. If you've been paying attention lately to what Fred Hill has been saying lately, any of you been paying attention to what he's been saying? Did you notice he's talked about recently about, he actually said where the hog pit was on Redmond's. I don't know, a couple months ago or so, he actually talked about Redmond's fucking hog pit and where it is. Guess where it is? Guess where it is? It's between 207 Ben Hill and 209. That is where they need to go and find Summer. And that is where they're going to find a whole bunch of more people as well. Not just Summer. I believe they will find multiple people. And I hate to say it, but infants, babies. And we know whose babies they are. TBI needs to wake up and start taking this really freaking seriously. Like, enough. Enough. When Fred said that, holy shit, every hair on my head stood up. That confirms to me my readings 1,000,000% confirms everything. Everything. And lately, he's been mentioning some names lately that he's never mentioned before. If you ever watch this, Fred, who the fuck is Jason? Fred? I've had Jason in my reading since day one. Who the hell is Jason? Fred mentioned the name Jason a few weeks ago for the first time. I almost jumped out of my seat. I'm like, there it is. I've been looking for Jason for 5 years. Bingo. And Chad. Why isn't this explains everything. It's common sense, people. Why doesn't Fred ever talk about Chad Arnold? Why doesn't he ever talk about his friend Chad? I think that explains absolutely everything. Doesn't it? You're not talking about Chad for a reason, huh? Yeah. So, I know I am right. I know I'm right. And people need to really start paying attention.
Days after Christmas. Again, the hunt was stalled, this time until October 1996, when 24-year-old Tanya Hollick disappeared, reported on November 3rd. Olivia Williams rated less concern at age 22, her December 1996 disappearance ignored until July 4th, 1997. Stephanie Lane, the youngest victim so far at age 20, was hospitalized for an episode of drug psychosis on March 10th, 1997. Released the following day, she was last seen alive at the Patricia Hotel on Hastings Street. Janet Henry survived a near miss with serial killer Clifford Olson in the 1980s, drugged but spared by Olson for unknown reasons. Yet, she wound up in low track a decade later and met another predator. Henry was reported missing on June 28, 1997, 2 days after her last contact with relatives. August 1997 was the most lethal month to date. 3 women lost, although police would not learn of those cases for more than a year. Marnie Frey, age 25, was not reported missing until September 4, 1998. 19 days later, on September 23rd, the first missing person report was filed on 32-year-old Helen Hallmark. Jacqueline Murdoch, 28, was not reported missing until October 3rd, 1998. Detectives still have no idea exactly when daughter was alive and well.
This is
estranged
the
from his
board of
ex-wife by a bitter
women.
divorce. Woolsey's father,
My
like Anne herself, had been
girlfriend
unaware of the police report filed in
is-
Vancouver until a suspect's arrest.
Where is she? I think this is her here. Tiffany. Breaks my heart. I'm pretty sure that's her right there, my friend. Okay, well, I want to jump to stuff about Pickton. Is there anything in here? Oh, here. Here we go. So, the reason why I'm also so passionate about this is because of Summer. Flat out. Please figure it out, people. That pit of hogs where he discards his hogs needs to be gone through with forensics, with tweezers. They have to go through every fucking inch of that place for DNA. And I'm not saying it's Redmond. I'm not saying it's him at all. I'm saying that place was used as a dumping ground. I'm positive.
Another suspect. This one, too, would be familiar to detectives from the early days of the investigation, and their belated reconsideration would cause no end of grief for the authorities.
So I've been in
Vancouver
that.
residents were unprepared for the
I've been in there. I've been in there. I've been in there drunk. Partying my ass off in there. As there is dead women in the other side. And probably in his trailers and outbuildings. None of us, we had no idea. None of us knew. And we were all targets too. And we didn't know. Just stupid kids. He opened up the place for us to all go party there. My sister partied there too.
announcement when it came on February 2nd, 2002. That morning, Vancouver Constable Catherine Galliford told reporters that searchers were scouring the Pickton pig farm and adjacent property in Port Coquitlam, first examined back in 1997. I can tell you a search is being conducted on that property, and the search is being executed by the Missing Women Task Force, she reported. Robert Pickton was already in custody, jailed on a charge of possessing illegal firearms. Bailed out on that charge, he was arrested once more on February 22nd, this time facing 2 counts of first-degree murder. Authorities identified the victims as Serena Abbotsway and Mona Wilson.
So
Pickton professed to be shocked.
This is where he hangs the pigs for, butchering and all that. Well, he was doing it to the women too. Running them through all the equipment.
By the charges, but relatives of the victims were equally agitated, noting that both women vanished 3 years after Piggy Palace was identified as a potential murder scene. On March 8th, investigators declared that DNA recovered from the farm had been conclusively identified as Abbotsway's. A month later, on April 3rd, Pickton was charged with 3 more counts of murder, naming victims Jacqueline McDonald, Heather Bottomley, and Diane Rock. A 6th murder charge for Angela Joesbury was filed against Pickton 6 days later. As in the first 2 cases, all 4 victims had been slain since Bill Hiscox had fingered Pickton as a suspect in the low-track disappearances. May 22nd, a 7th first-degree murder charge was filed against Pickton when the remains of Brenda Wolfe were found on his farm. If Pickton was the low-track slayer, survivors asked, why had the searches of his property in 1997 and 1998 failed to uncover any evidence? More to the point, how could he abduct and murder additional victims between 1999 and 2001 when he should have been under police surveillance? Proclaiming his innocence on all charges.
The RCMP totally failed this case for years. All the women downtown were telling the RCMP that, their friends were going missing. And the RCMP, when this was happening, it was all over the news. The RCMP kept dismissing it and saying, oh, well, she's an addict. She's probably taken off somewhere. Well, they were all being killed by Pickton. So the RCMP actually got into quite a bit of trouble over this. And then they finally at the end did everything right. But in the beginning, so many of these victims' families were absolutely devastated. What am I reading here? Rockin' Robin. He has followed me on what? Really? He's followed me on fucking Messenger and now Facebook and knows the cases I know. Seriously? Can you add me to Facebook, Robin? Or sorry, Rockin' Cajun. Can you add me to Facebook? One sec, I'll give you my link. Here's my Facebook link. Please send me a friend request. We need to talk. Okay? Thank you very much, honey. Okay. Yeah. Send me a message, okay? Send me a message. I sent links to my wedding out privately, heavily. If I didn't know you, I wouldn't have sent it to you. I don't recognize your name. What was your old nickname? Oh, you didn't get one either? Okay, I'll send some out later. My wedding's on private. That's interesting, Rockin. Thank you for letting me know that.
Pickton was scheduled for trial in November 2002, but detectives were not finished in their search at Piggy Palace. The full operation, they announced on March 21st, 2002, might drag on for as much as a year. As for other victims and any further charges, they refused to speculate. No
Dragged
charges
on
have been
for a
filed
year.
against David.
It dragged on for like 5 years. It took them that long to sift the entire property. You can see back here, these are the conveyor belts. And they actually had students from the University of British Columbia, like forensic students, hundreds of them there, going through this stuff for 5 years.
Pickton or any other suspect. Tabloid headlines screamed their verdict in Vancouver on the 10th of April 2002. 54 women fed to pigs. But were they? Suspect Robert Pickton, charged with 7 murders so far, was presumed innocent until proven guilty. His tentative trial date still 6 months away. Police searching his pig farm declared that they would not be finished with their work before spring of 2003. With the results from that search pending, the fate of 47 other missing women remained conjectural, and some critics suggested that the official list was only the tip of the iceberg. On February 13th, 2002, 9 days before Pickton was slapped with his first murder charge, spokesman for Prostitution Alternatives Counseling Education claimed that 110 streetwalkers from British Columbia's Lower Mainland had been slain or kidnapped in the past 2 decades.
110 women. So there's still roughly 65 missing that they've not found.
Computer data obtained from the Royal Canadian Mounted Police placed the number even higher, 144 prostitutes murdered or missing with foul play suspected over the province at large. It may be comforting to think one human monster was responsible for all those crimes, at least within Vancouver, but was it a realistic hope? Before Pickton's indictment, detectives favored other theories. Some believed a long-haul trucker was disposing of Vancouver's prostitutes, while others thought the missing women had been lured aboard foreign cargo ships, ganked, and murdered by crewmen, then buried at sea. Still, others rejected the serial killer hypothesis until the very day of Pickton's arrest. The only thing certain about Vancouver's mystery at that point was its bitter divisiveness. 4 more charges of murder were laid against Robert William Pickton in Port Coquitlam Court, Wednesday, October 2nd, 2002. Pickton was now charged with first-degree murder in the deaths of Heather Gabrielle Shinnock, Tanya Marlowe Hollock, Sherry Irving, and Inga Monique Hall. Tanya Hollock and Inga Hall appeared on the earliest missing women list. Hollock was 21 when she was last seen on October 29th of 1996. Hall was 46 when she disappeared on February 26, 1998. Sherry Irving was 23 when she disappeared 2 months after Hollock in December of 1996 that was to begin hearing final submissions from the Crown and lawyers for Pickton. The new site, approximately 65 kilometers east of Vancouver, was located in a high-traffic area adjacent to Highway 7, also known as the Lougheed Highway. Galliford reporters say logists who were manning the sifters would be sent to the new site. The area was now fenced off and under 24-hour protection. Prior to the press release, also a person who worked for Pickton tipped authorities to consumption.
It's still fenced off, but stuff's still sitting there. Like all the equipment and everything is just sitting there. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so the place is still fenced off, except they took a chunk of it and turned it into condos. My friend bought one of those condos, and I swear I could hear women screaming outside the front door.
Products from Pickton. The
Okay,
Pickton proceedings in
Cajun.
Canada have gone through several distinct stages,
Send
from
me
interview
a
transcripts to
friend
physical
request,
evidence
okay?
analysis from several disciplines to victim profiling.
Yes, she was found. Yes, she was found. Thank God. Yeah, it was really sad.
Files. RCMP officer Jack Mellis had described the blood evidence from a mattress in a mobile home on Pickton's pig farm. DNA testing matched it to Mona Wilson, whose head and hands were recovered from the farm grounds in 2002, 6 months after she'd gone missing. The skull of one victim linked to Pickton was found on the side of a road in British Columbia in 1995. Teams have covered the 17-acre farm to look for the most minute pieces of physical evidence, a bone, spots of blood, teeth, hair shafts, to find enough material for DNA analysis. They continue to excavate the ground to dig deep for evidence potentially buried years earlier. At the end of February, 2 RCMP officers described how in early April 2002, they had come across grisly human remains, including severed heads, in a freezer inside the building on the farm grounds. The frozen remains were thawed and eventually identified as parts of Serena Abbotsway and Andrea Joesbury. Investigators also turned up the jawbone of Brenda Wolfe, stuck in mud in a pig pen, and another jawbone at a different location was identified as that of Marnie Fay.
They need to search that holler, people. I promise you, I'm right on this. It's not just Summer we're looking for. There's a lot more.
Victims were mostly drug abusers and prostitutes, and the accused is an aging, uneducated pig farmer who liked to talk about himself. Still, he was allegedly the most prolific serial killer that a Canadian court had ever prosecuted, and the proceedings finally picked up. There was plenty of coverage as Pickton showed interest, and even appeared to smile during the analysis of a handheld reciprocating saw allegedly used to bisect 3 skulls and cut through other human bones. There were cut marks on Wolf's jawbone, as well as several ribs, 2 heel bones, and several vertebrae that had been collected. 10 of the saw's 45 blades came into evidence, only because they could not be eliminated as the blades that had caused the cuts in the bones. The expert was certain a saw had produced them, but could not definitely identify what kind. A forensic entomologist, Dr. Gail Anderson, also testified that the remains of Abbotsway and Joesbury had been exposed to the elements for several weeks to several months before being stashed in the freezer where they were found. Insects apparently went into the buckets when the remains were picked up for storage, and their type and stage of development helped to scientifically establish a time frame. From April into early May, the jury members were shown graphic pictures of the decomposing heads, hands, and other remains as forensic pathologists testified about the autopsies. The first witness agreed that the skulls were cut from both front and behind with a reciprocating saw, and that they'd been forced apart where the cuts nearly joined. He also described the gunshot wounds to 3 of the victims, although ballistics experts could not link the recovered bullets to any of the guns found on the property. When Justice James Williams noticed the effect this had,
So that's where they also say that, they searched the Van Hill property, right? Well, Fred's uncle, I think his uncle, does this stuff. Like he butchers pigs. Well, I'm not saying he's done anything. I don't think he's done anything. Like I think he's totally irrelevant. But I believe people had access to his equipment. People that knew when he wasn't home, etc.
evidence, which included images of maggots and skin sloughing, was having on some of the female jurors, he called for a recess. The next day, they heard that a .22 caliber revolver with a rubber sex toy attached over the barrel had yielded DNA from a victim and possibly from Pickton. Finally, forensic chemist Tony Fung testified that a substance found in a syringe that came from Pickton's office was methanol, commonly used in the windshield wiper fluid. An acquaintance of Pickton's had mentioned his statement about using this type of fluid to kill drug addicts. However, no methanol had shown up in tests on the remains of the victims in question. Traces of cocaine were found in all the tissue samples, along with methadone and diazepam, or Valium. But toxicologist Heather Dinn declined to state that the concentration of drugs had been fatal. On May 10th, after 78 witnesses had taken the stand, the jury learned how Brenda Wolf, the mother of 2, had asked for government assistance for food because she'd spent what little money she had to make a good Christmas for her kids. Elaine Allen, employed at Women's Information Safe House, or WISH, drop-in center, had known 5 of the 6 victims and told the jury what she knew about them. How Andrea spoke softly and Georgina Papin was charming and outspoken. How the opinionated Serena was often beaten up and showed numerous tracks. Believed he was nearly ready to laugh, despite the grim nature of the accusations. Even so, Chubb told the attorneys they could go ahead and attack his character, but he was not the one on trial for 6 counts of murder. By the end of July, as the courtroom went into hiatus for 2 weeks to give the jury vacation time, the prosecution in the Pickton case had presented its key witnesses. Andrew Bellwood gave the most disturbing testimony and also took the most heat from the defense.
So anyways, that's the end of that. We'll just end that there. But yeah, it's a deep case, and now you know why I'm so passionate about it, and now you know because it's summer. It brings me to summer. And when it comes to her case, I'm keeping my mouth shut. And I really don't want to. I'm biting my fucking tongue. But we have a mentally unwell person on YouTube that is blatantly interfering in the case. Like, I'm really surprised they haven't had charges yet. It's coming. I'm sure it's going to come. So, yeah. We could go on and on and on about it. Yeah, I have to. I have to keep my mouth shut. I have to keep my mouth shut because I don't want her attacking me. Point blank. I know things and she knows I know things and he knows I know. And so I just have to leave it at that because I don't want them giving me problems. So, but they know. They know I know. Anyways, Sebastian, now Nancy. Yeah, exactly. Okay. All right. Did you send me a friend request? Hi, Crimson. Anyways, peeps, I'm going to wrap it up there. We're at the 2-hour mark. My honey is about to get home, and the house is all dark. I need to get out in the house and turn the lights on and shit. I love you all. Thank you so much for being here. Hit the thumbs up button before you leave. And if you're new and you're in the background watching, can you please hit the subscribe button? And yeah, I'll talk to you all tomorrow. I'm sure I'll be on tomorrow. Okay? Love you. Ciao. Bye.